Hey there everybody, this is Sven Shinhan welcoming you to my very first Let's Play of Taz-Mania for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. It's not one of the greatest games in history, but it used to be one of my favorites when I was growing up, so I thought this would make a really good game to just give it a first go. So it's not really a very complicated game. I'll head to the menus first. There's this little cheat that you can do where you hit BA, YA, XA, and you get an extra 10 continues. I'm probably not going to be needing that for this LP, but it just gives you a couple of extra lives to make the game a little easier, because if you're not familiar with it, it can be a little tricky. For now, though, we're just going to be hopping straight into it, and I'll explain what the game is about as we go on. So this first episode is going to be a little bit of an introduction because, frankly, there's not a whole lot going on. And I'll start with the controls. So let's go ahead and get started on Act 1. Now, Act 1, as you may have guessed, is kind of an introductory thing. There's not a whole lot going on here, but I'll do my best to explain things. So here, the first stage, called Main Course, what you're doing is you're controlling Taz, and basically you have a couple of jump buttons with B. You're grabbing with Y. The goal of the game is to grab these yellow kiwis, and using the shoulder buttons you can do some kind of funny taunts, and then finally using the X button you can do a tornado spin, which dramatically increases your speed at the cost of some health. So, like I said, the goal of the game is to grab yellow kiwis. There are these yellow things that usually walk by the side of the road, and in the beginning you can basically walk up to them and catch them, but as the game goes on, they'll actually start dodging you and trying to get away from you, so you have to get a little bit creative. Also, you may have noticed the bus that just almost hit me. There's a couple of obstacles in the game, enemies as you will, and they'll try to flatten you, causing some hilarious situations occasionally with the animations. This game obviously is based on the Taz-Mania TV show by Warner Brothers, and that guy, I think, was what was his name, Didgeridingo. He'll occasionally give you, well, I missed a kiwi there, but I'll just keep going for a little bit. Occasionally he'll give you, like, presents. Later in the game they also turn into traps. Kiwis, if you miss one, another one will pop up later on, so... And at the end of every stage, Taz will say something funny, like Taz stuffed or something. It changes with every level, and it's just kind of a funny way that the game designers put into this. But I'll readily admit that this isn't one of the greatest games ever made, but it is one of my favorites, and I used to play this a lot when I was like 9 years old. I think it was the first game that I ever bought. So what I like to do at the beginning of a stage is use a tornado spin to gain some speed, because Taz is horribly slow when he actually has to get started. And I guess this is a good time to actually talk a little bit about the purpose of this game. I'm not really sure why he's hunting for kiwis. I'm assuming he's just hungry. And I'm not really sure if this game is an accurate portrayal of what Australia is actually like. I highly doubt it. Now, as you can see, there's a couple of really weird gameplay elements, and I just got hit. And these gameplay elements, they're kind of clunky sometimes. The controls are really wonky, but almost every single level, there's the water. I did not do that on purpose, but I guess it does serve a purpose. It kind of shows you the animations of Taz getting clobbered and beaten, and also the gifts that Didgeridoo hands you, damn it. The gifts that Didgeridoo hands you, Didgeridingo, Didgeridoo is the stupid instrument. I don't mean stupid, but... So, the items that he drops, they can help you and they can hurt you, and they'll start getting more complicated as the game goes on. And starting at the second or third stage, pretty much every single stage will introduce something new. Some new hazards, some new enemies, some new... sometimes actually new birds. I think, I don't know if this stage is the one, but I'll let you know when I find it. And basically the first 3 stages are kind of easy, and there's not a whole lot going on. But, this is kind of an introductory episode, so I guess I have to talk a lot about that kind of stuff. So, right now I only have 1 kiwi left out of 5. You'll notice that starts happening more and more as the game goes on. You have to gather more kiwis with every stage, so you have basically the same amount of minutes to actually do it, and if you don't get it before the time runs out, basically you're dead. Taz need bicarbonate. I don't even know what that means, what that's supposed to mean. But yeah, basically, if you run out of time at the end of a level, and if you haven't caught all the kiwis yet, you lose a life. And you'll have to start the level over again. And of course, I got 10 extra from the cheat that I used earlier, but like I said, you don't really need them. Now, each act consists of 3 stages, and a bonus stage at the very end of that. So, I'll just probably upload one act per episode, including its bonus stage, and then I'll cut it off because, you know, I don't want these videos to be several hours long. And I think this is the stage where Kiwis start to dodge you a little more, and it also introduces the crossroads. I think I just passed one, I'm not really sure, I haven't been paying attention, though I should. There they are. Essentially, they're like garbage trucks there, and they can run you over if you're not careful. And that guy, I believe his name was Buddy Boar in the show, he can actually run you over quite in quite a nasty way, because he'll start swerving and actually aiming for you as the game goes on. Or at least it feels like that. I'm pretty sure he's actually just swinging. Oh yeah, the Kiwis here start jumping. It's really annoying. And their lamppost. Oh, one cool thing is that if you tornado spin, you can actually break most obstacles. Ah, here, one of the new boons. One of the Redbirds, they give you 10 seconds on your timer if you catch one of them. So it's always a good thing to keep to go for those. And I got a little bit too eager there. So the Redbirds give you 10 seconds and they add it to your timer, which can be really helpful in some situations. So yeah, for now you shouldn't go all out of your way to leave the road because Taz is extremely slow off it, and another bus. I promise I'll try not to get hit as often during the rest of the game, but right now I'm still kind of explaining how it works, so, you know, take that as a kind of excuse. Taz hates trucks. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that he does. So right now we're at the end of the very third stage. The very third, that's it. We're at the end of the third stage, and right now we'll get into a bonus stage. Basically, you get a bonus stage every 3 levels, and they just make for a fun little time. And really, all you have to do is grab as many Kiwis as you can. But this is where the Kiwis really start dodging and weaving, and they can actually stop right in their tracks and turn around. And they'll make that kind of breaky sound that you often hear in cartoons. Now, I haven't played this in a while, so I'm a little bit rusty, but hopefully I should be able to do a decent job at the game here. I'm pretty sure that in some versions of the game, I'm not sure if it's the European or the American one, but if you grab a certain amount of Kiwis before the time runs out, you actually get an extra continue or a point bonus, and I'm just letting a lot of these guys escape. Sorry for the silence there, I was just concentrating a little bit on the Kiwis. See, the controls are kind of wonky, so crap, this is not something you want to happen to you in a bonus level. Now, I have seen Redbirds that give you 10 seconds during these bonus levels, but they seem to be extremely rare, and I've only seen them like maybe once or twice. Also, there's a couple of graphical glitches, as you can see. So right now, this marks the end of the first act, and I'll just cut it off here, and I'll see you guys next time for the second act, which should be a whole lot more fun. So, see you guys then.